Yeah, nigga, whatever. Yeah, bitch, whatever. Yeah, I am. I never let my niggas down.
It's always interesting watching these influential people get on these platforms and display the hypocrisy when we see scandal and tragedy emerge in the black community. And it's funny that the same individuals like D.L. Hughley, who had so much to say about Bill Cosby because of personal feelings, fail to realize when they get on these platforms and say specific things, they're opening the door for other individuals to run wild with it. And then you see they goofy ass get on these platforms talking about some Black Lives Matter. I'm just curious, when we keep seeing this repetitive type of behavior going on no matter what celebrity it is, it poses people to start asking questions like, how are we, a community, supposed to take these individuals serious with some black excellence when every chance they get, they're tearing down black legacies? Now, just my opinion, this Samuels guy is just another Mason going along with this whole Agents of Chaos rhetoric we see going wild on social media, and then we have other individuals in the industry fueling the fire. The point I'm going to make, regardless of what you feel, what you believe, how are we as a community going to be taken serious when we can't even respectfully agree to disagree? Like even this man's tragic death, regardless of what he was doing, no matter how hypocritical he was in life, the disrespect is what's getting me. Why? Because realistically speaking, do you think a woman like me is sitting around listening to a Kevin Samuels? Fuck no. So do you think anything he could have ever gotten on his platform could have riled my feathers? No. With that said, these are the type of situations that I can't take people coming on social media serious when they display why their opinions and their judgment are a little bit biased, therefore they can't be taken serious.
Blogs put a nigga business out, knock him down, now switch him out. I got ops I don't know about, stand on business we don't talk about.
Just like these hypocritical ass celebrities I can't take serious, I also can't take serious these janky ass so-called journalists who were so affiliated with certain cults in their younger years who have been publicly on display saying specific things, yet I'm supposed to listen to them talk about a R. Kelly? Man, please.
Parents, when you knew that's what he was about to do, why didn't you call them?
All right. This is where. Let me tell you. I didn't call the parents. I worked for Robert. I worked for Robert Kelly. Listen to me. I worked for Robert Kelly. Okay. This just happened, and we get to Chicago. I talk to Daryl. I say, man, what you doing, man? You can't do this, man. I'm supposed to call Daryl, but my loyalty was to Robert. Right then, I didn't know he was sleeping with a lady.
Well, you knew he was about to marry her. You knew it was uncomfortable, that it was illegal. You knew that she's minor. I mean,
it was an uncomfortable situation.
Are you a father?
At that moment,
yes, I am. So,
yes, I am.
Do you have a daughter?
I have remorse. I have remorse for that, man, so much. It was a bad decision. I made that. I'm not a perfect person.
If it ain't official Dana J, Levi for Kelly, Primadonnanews, I don't even want to see it. Just take the time. Look, you got some weed? Dang. Gotta get some. Alright, hurry up. Diesel and them here, everybody here, we waiting on you.
Now, those following my content know where I'm about to go with this. The same facts that I put out there in your face, and how the government wants to conveniently pick isolated events and build this RICO enterprise and build certain affiliations with janky ass people. We could say the same thing about a lot of people in these industry streets following some of these janky ass religions. After all, isn't that the premises of what a cult actually is versus the bullshit these people put out here alleging Robert Kelly was running? The major point was the corruption and how the FBI is corrupt, just like these people in the industry are corrupt and janky as fuck by involving all these hood people into their game and then want to drop a dime every which way on these public platforms. Then, when people like me come out and just put some common sense in your ear, it's always people attacking, trying to divert your attention from the common sense and the obvious hypocrisy in putting all this attention on one individual and overlooking the corruption, the dirty tactics used in order to garner this conviction that will, just my opinion, be the same stuff used to get this man's freedom, as I've said from the jump. All these dirty tactics are unlawful. With that said, isn't it still strange to see these people going out their way to still make these comments about people supporting Robert Kelly? I mean, isn't he still a black life? His black life don't matter to some? Oh, selective hypocrisy, huh? Is it wrong to challenge the people to start doing a little research on the topic at hand instead of getting on these platforms, giving their opinion, showing other individuals why black lives really don't matter? Catch it. Like I said 3 years ago, majority of these artists and entertainers with so much to say about Robert Kelly are in the same freaking boat, and a lot of them don't have dental insurance, health insurance policies, etc., as we learned from the recent passing of Jewel, which I also pointed out, with these billion-dollar corporations pimping these artists. Just like all these other corporations that everyday people worked for who left them unemployed, jobless, without any medical benefits, insurance, etc., etc. So just my thoughts, when people start to judging all these celebrities, maybe some should remind themselves that they are just like everyone else, no special in the eyes of the law. Oops, my bad. Unless you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody who can pull some strings to get all your bullshit thrown under a rug.
Testimony today in the child pornography trial of singer R. Kelly. Witness after witness identified those on that now infamous sex tape as the alleged victim and R. Kelly. SEAL TV's Randy Bellasoma was in the courtroom today. Joins us now from 26 in California with more. Randy?
Sean, today, for the first time, we heard testimony that identified those on the tape from someone other than a relative, a friend, or a parent of a friend of the alleged victim. We heard from a former employee of R. Kelly who said at first she did not want to believe that it was him. Lindsay Perryman worked for Robert Kelly on and off from 1999 to 2006, doing everything from cleaning floors to handling the defendant's personal business. She told the court that included driving the alleged victim in the now infamous sex tape to and from his Olympia Fields home. She also testified to often seeing the girl at Kelly's recording studio, sometimes carrying a pillow and an overnight bag. The image that I saw looks exactly like Mr. Kelly, Perryman said, then IDing the female on the tape, citing her facial features and her cheekbones. During cross-examination, defense attorney Mark Martin inquired about Perryman's purported master's degree from a recording conservatory in Arizona, a degree she said took only months to acquire. I didn't go to Oxford or Harvard, no, Perryman replied. Also taking the stand was Jada Burnett, a family friend of the alleged victim. She said the female on the tape was about 12 or 13 at the time and noted her distinctive cheeks and facial structure. However, that's as far as she could go. Here's an exchange during cross-examination by defense attorney Sam Adam Jr. At some point, you'd have had to have seen her naked. You were so close, right? I've never seen her naked. 22-year-old Raven Gangler testified as well, saying the girl on the tape was her friend from junior high. She said that was something that was absolute and said the alleged victim was very proud of her relationship with R. Kelly. R. Kelly sat expressionless through most of the day's proceedings, and occasionally he would whisper something to attorney and basketball coaches. Joel Ray headed up the team from Oak Park's Percy Julian Middle School between 1994 and 2003.
Generation tape that was filled with all sorts of video noise where you couldn't identify, in my opinion, anybody. That's my view of the tape.
There's an idea out there that because he sat in that courtroom stoic and he didn't show emotion and he didn't show any kind of concern, and I heard that said about him, sitting next to him, because I did every day, if you recall, I sat next to him every day of this trial and listened to him and talked to him. He was a very caring and concerned person. He just knew that every move that he made was going to be criticized, every move that he made was going to be watched, every move that he made was going to certainly come out in a newspaper or on television, and so his way of dealing with it was to be stoic.
Something